Hey there everybody, today we're going to be replacing the screen on an LG K20, so please come along with me as we show you in this video how it's done. Alright everybody, so we're going to be replacing the screen on this LG K20. As you can see, it's pretty badly damaged here. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and start off by popping off the back. It's just held in by a couple of clips, so it's pretty easy to come off. As soon as we take that off, go ahead, just take out the battery. Make sure there's no SIM card or anything inside, and we're going to start by taking these screws off right here. Alright, and now that all the screws are out, we're just going to go ahead and take the frame off of the phone. It's pretty simple. Just go ahead, slide in your tools and everything. Make sure that you do not go too far in as to not cause any damage to anything else. And you're going to want to do this all the way around just so the screen can come off. And now that we have that part off, we have all the electronics inside that are exposed. We're going to go ahead and start off by going and disconnecting this bottom connector right here that goes connected to the LCD. Next up, we're going to go ahead and disconnect the front facing camera and then the back facing camera just to end off things. Go ahead and take the camera and just be sure to put it someplace safe. And then same thing, we're going to go ahead and take off the main board. Be careful with this. You don't want to damage it. Don't pry too hard on it. If you pry too hard on it, you can cause severe damage, and nobody wants that, right? So just be sure, shimmy it out of, just shimmy it out of place. Right here, lift up that cable, and now the motherboard is free. And now we can go ahead and take out all these smaller components. We're going to go ahead and take off these volume buttons over here. Afterwards, we're going to go ahead and start taking out things like the vibrator sensor, the front facing camera, just so we can go ahead and replace those over to the new screen. Alright, so we're going to go ahead, just to take off the rest of the components, we're going to go ahead and heat it up a little bit. Be sure that if you heat it up, don't heat it up too much. It's nothing too bad. You could go ahead and even use, your regular household, hair dryer or anything. Just a little bit of heat. The glue on the back just tends to soften up a little bit, and you're able to take it out a bit more easier. So right here, we're taking out the ear speaker. Next down here, we're going to be taking out the earphone jack. Alright, and same thing, be sure not to pry up. You don't want to mess up any of those ribbon cables. Okay, and then next is going to be the vibrator sensor. Alright, so there's nothing else to do. We're going to go ahead and one last component right here. So this essentially goes right underneath your loudspeaker. If you don't put this back, you're not going to have any sound coming out of your loudspeaker, so be sure to take that out as well if your new screen doesn't come on. Same thing, be very careful, very gentle with it. Alright, and that's it. So here we have the brand new screen. We're going to go ahead. If you have a particular order of putting things back, you can go ahead and do so. Just remember that, every piece is supposed to go back the way it was. If something doesn't feel completely right where it goes, don't force it in. So just be sure to apply everything back the way it was, nice and gently. Here we're going to be putting in our headphone jack. Okay, just position that. And next we're going to be putting in our vibrator motor. Now most of the times on these new screens there's going to be a thin blue plastic that comes on it. Just be sure to take that off so that way you have access to the brand new adhesive that's going to be on there, or else it's not going to stick properly and it's going to make a weird buzzing sound. So just be sure any place that has that blue plastic, be sure to peel it off before putting in the new parts. Alright, now that we have all that set up inside, we're going to go ahead, position the main board back into the frame of the phone. Be sure to press down on it gently until you hear a click. That way, once you hear the click, you know that it is in position. Afterwards, just go ahead and reposition the front-facing camera and the back-facing camera. Same thing with the connectors. Position them over the slot. Be sure to hear a small, audible click. That means you're putting them in right. And then once that's all set up and you have your LCD, front, back cameras all connected, be sure to put the frame back on. Same thing, as the other components. Be sure you'll hear a click. Don't press down too hard. You don't want to damage that brand new screen. And then afterwards, just go ahead and put all these screws back in no particular order. They're all same size. So just be sure you screw them all in nice and tight. Nothing's missing. Alright, and then once you have all of your screws in, be sure to put in all the other things. If you had any SIM cards, SD cards, be sure to position those back where they were at. Same thing right here, we're just going to be peeling off the sticker for the model of the phone, so that way, all that information still remains on the phone. Put your battery back, put the back on it, and that's about it. So just go ahead and power the phone on, just make sure it comes on and everything. Test out touch features. And if you have any other questions, feel free to give us a call. If you have also questions, leave them down in the comments below. And yeah, hopefully this was a very helpful video for you.